This is supposed to be the road to the waterfall here. We'll find out pretty soon, I guess. I mean, there could be any number of waterfalls. I mean, water's falling out of the sky on us right now. Well, we seem to be at the top of the hill here. Gotten a little foggy on us. We'll see where this goes. I hope it winds up at the waterfall. Well, it's 3 days later and we're still on this road and getting low on gas here.
We need to pave this road.
And we still haven't seen any waterfall.
Just a black squirrel.
This obviously is the end of the road.
We'll have to figure out which trail we got to go see another waterfall. Well, let's back up. Hi, I'm Jill.
And I'm John.
And we're the geezers on the go.
Go, go, go! This time we're at Fillmore Glen State Park near Moravia, New York. And not to worry, we did eventually find that waterfall, but we'll get back to that later. Fillmore has 60 campsites, but only 10 with electric. It's heavily wooded with streams, trails, and waterfalls everywhere. Its peak seasons are summer and fall, with beautiful warm days and brilliant foliage. But it also offers snowmobiling and cross-country skiing in the winter.
It's been kind of rainy here the first couple days at Fillmore Glen State Park. This is our site. We're site 53. We're on the only loop that has electric. I walked up the hill there. There's a big open field. I saw a deer. Not a bad spot. We have electric. There's, I think, 10 sites in this loop, all surrounded by trees. Sites are paved. I see a wide variety of campers here. You can tell it's getting close to Halloween. Have some pumpkins. One little more look around our loop. Like I said, see lots of different things. We got big rigs and pop-ups and smaller trailers. Oh, very nice, all paved. Looks like it's an older park. I think it was built in the 1930s and named after one of our presidents, Miller Fillmore, who was born in this area. Oh, we have somebody from Alabama. Ooh. Nice back area back there if you want a lot of space, if you got kids. These first couple sites would be nice. Right there's the tail end of our campground loop with the electric sites. And then as you come around, you get the bathhouse and bathroom here. There's a couple more here. There's 3 more there, which are tent sites. And then it goes around to a little parking area where there's really nice playground for the kids. All this open green space in the middle. And then there's a few other campsites on this side, which are also not any electric or anything, just open sites, which are kind of nice, except that this road, as you come in here, right past where this one trailer is, ends, so you better know where your campsite is, because there's no turning around here. The creek here backs up to campsite, so I think it's 39 to 42. So if you don't mind not having any electric or whatever, you back up to this stream. And there's lots of trees in this area. A little soggy today from all the rain. But it'll be an enjoyable spot being right by the creek. As you come into the park, you have to drive across this kind of narrow bridge and hope nobody's coming across. But there's a waterway here that goes under the bridge, and there are campsites along the side. And it's noted for its gorges and little waterfalls, so you can sort of see the waterfalls here. Not too far from the entrance of Fillmore State Park here, there is a few cabins, and they too back up to the creek. It's on the other side of the creek from the regular campsites, and there are cabins down along here. On the outside of the cabins have a little picnic table, a bench. It wasn't open, so I couldn't go in and take a peek. And there's also another picnic table and a grill. And again, you're right back here along the creek. So I guess in the summertime you probably could go down and take a dip in the creek. Well, what do you know, in nicer weather, this creek becomes a swimming area. There's actually a lifeguard stand here. Where the water comes down, and swim in here. Benches. I guess in the hot summer days, it's a great place to come. In talking to the rangers here, this whole spot here in the summertime is one gigantic pool. They dam it up right towards the end there, and then this part fills up with water. They smooth out the bottoms, and it's filled up just about to where those markers are. He said that over the summer they had a big flood, and the water was just racing over the top and through some cracks. So right now they're sort of filling in the holes, so by next year, and I guess 2022, swimming will be here again, and they'll smooth out the bottom. And the water's pretty cold, but nice for the summer months. We were there in October, and the weather wasn't real great. We had a lot of rain.
Yeah.
But there's that really nice outdoor pool, as you would call it, because actually it's just a big water that they dam up and you can swim in, and that would be really nice in the summertime. It'd be really cool because the water would be nice and cool.
Yeah, one of the great things about that park is that it has, there's water everywhere. There's waterfalls and gorges and streams and rivers. They even have water across the road.
Right. Yikes. I don't know, should we go through this? We won't get washed away, will we?
I don't think so. Let's hope not. Whoa!
That was fun. This is the road that we drove over before. Goes across the creek here that we just were looking at, goes across the road and down into the woods. I guess they don't really make any attempts to try and raise the road here. You can cross here to get out to the other campground, part of the campground, which is that way. Speaking of roads and waterfalls, remember that road to nowhere we took earlier? Turns out it did lead to a waterfall, and we found it. Well, I think we might have finally found the trail to the waterfall. I think we found the trail to the waterfall. And at least it's raining, but we're underneath the trees, so at least we're not getting too wet. Well, there's some steps, just have to be careful. Looks kind of wet. I don't know why it says you can't go swimming here. This would be a great place, it looks like, in the summertime.
No, I bet you if somebody went swimming down here, they wouldn't be the first people to do it.
Okay, it looks like we're finally making our way to one of the waterfalls over here. Whoa! Oh, yeah, right. We're right in the... Ah, we made it to the waterfalls. Not that far walk from the campground. Found out there's another waterfall called the Cowshed. Not too far of a walk, and it's pretty spectacular. They call it the Cowshed because farmers used to bring their cows back here, or they used to wander back from some of the farms. This campground might not be for everybody's taste. It's not real big, and out of the 60 sites, only 10 have electric. But it's got a lot of history in the area. It's actually the birthplace of our 13th President, Millard Fillmore. They have a replica house of where he lived, and there's a cemetery that no one seems to know about.
Yeah, and there's also a bunch of wineries and breweries in the area, and everybody seems to know about them.
Yeah, let's go have a drink. Fillmore Glen State Park was named after our 13th president, Millard Fillmore. He was born not that far from where the campground is here in New York, and his real house is somewhere down the road, but they built this as a replica of his house, and it sits on the, as you come in near the campground entrance. And not a very big place. A little porch area, and it shows you what the bedroom would look like. And there's some old baskets. And on this side, possibly what his kitchen would have looked like, where his family would have lived. He was born in 1800. Well, we drove 10 miles from our campsite at Millard Fillmore State Park to find his boyhood birth site. And we get here, and like John said, much of his presidency, he's only here for 2 years. This is it. It's a little picnic spot. I guess his house used to be here. Can't see much around it, but it is farmland, and it says he grew up on a farm. So, to commemorate the place, there's a flag and a couple of picnic tables. Thank you, 13th President of the United States. Sometimes you drive miles and miles to see nothing, and other times you step out your camper and stumble into something cool right outside your door. Did a little more walking where this big field was, and got to around over here, and I found there's a little graveyard. Wow. He's dating from the 1800s. Some of these are obviously new headstones, but they're from the Revolutionary War people. John Nichols says. There's another one. The Connecticut line of the Revolution, 1758 to 1841. Wow. This one here looks like it says the Johnson family, and these date back from the 1870s. It looks like a lot of these other ones are kind of old. Here's one that's dated that the person died March 6, 1847. He was 75 years old. Jeremiah. Boy, you lived a long time for back then. But look at this. It's the whole long-lost cemetery. I asked about the cemetery down at the park office, and no one seemed to know anything about it, like it wasn't even there. Later I found out it was an old town graveyard called Dry Creek Cemetery, and it was even on the National Register of Historic Places. It opened in 1807, but it was abandoned for a long time after 1863. That's when a flood unearthed 40 graves and sent at least 16 caskets floating down the river. But now it was time for one of our favorite camping activities, searching for wineries. We're here at this winery just about 4 miles from the campground. It was kind of rainy today, so what else is there to do than go drink some wine? It's in the middle of a cornfield, looks like. And there it is. We shall see. The wine was so good. And so was the music. Burning up inside, don't pour me in the frame on the mantle. Memories turn dusty, old and gray. And then it was on to another winery. And finally, we washed it all down with some beer.
That's all right, Jill. You can move. I'm doing a video.
Okay, I didn't know. Okay, we're waiting for our beer and our wine and our hard cider. Oh boy.
Where are we, Jill?
We're at Summerhill Brewery, just about 8-9 miles from the campground. And we figure it's pouring rain. Why sit in the trailer when we can be drinking?
Or they also have outside dining here. Weather looks nice, doesn't it?
Oh, not too much. But they have food here and all kinds of good stuff. And the funny thing is, when we came in here, we saw neighbors of ours from across the lake from where we live. Even though we're 80 miles from home, we still saw people that we knew. Isn't that strange?
They must be following us.
I guess. Or maybe this place just has great beer, wine, and cider. So we'll see.
We'll see. Turned out the brew was delicious. But that was a wrap on our trip to Fillmore Glen. We're glad you could join us, and as always, see you down the road.
Stop! Stop! Stop!